Welcome to the Notorious Scoundrels, a Star Wars Legion podcast bringing you the latest news, general perspective, and competitive discussion.
Hello and welcome back to the Notorious Scoundrels podcast. I'm Kyle, and I'm here with Jay and Evan. Bulriss, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, we're back. Hey, I just want to point out that the three of us are the longest tenured 5th Trooper staff members still standing.
True. That's true.
We made it, boys.
Is this my prize? Is this what was at the end of the tunnel?
This is what you get at the end of Willy Wonka.
So it's been what, 5 years? I think we've been doing this, and it'll be 6, right? Coming up.
Is it 4 or 5?
It's not quite 5.
It'll be 5 this year.
Yeah, it's like 4.5.
Yeah,
ish.
That's right. Because Legion's 5.
Legion's 5, but we didn't start the podcast until like 6.
Yeah, Scoundrels was
about 6 months after.
Yeah, October, November, and then 5th Trooper was August, September.
Yep.
So yeah, we're coming up on 5 years of weekly podcasts for your listening pleasure.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week.
I think we've missed like one time, maybe.
Yeah. I think it was early too. Or year 2 maybe, or year 1. It's wild. Yep. Well, hey, it's good to be here, boys. This was an unplanned OG cast, but here we are.
Yeah, we it's my fault that we got postponed. If you can hear my my Johnny Cash baritone here, I've been sick, so
I blame you too.
Some kids, man. Them kids.
I know, it's like they bring everything home, every single thing.
I was just telling Evan, like, everyone's sick at my house except for me. I'm like the sentry on guard that's like never, like what what was it, the from Holy Grail, the Knights Templar, the goat. Yeah, that's me, just like holding on. hold. Everyone's sick.
real funny thing about Monty Python. I just found out that movie. Do you remember the scene where the 2 castle guards are kind of standing there, and I think it's Lancelot's running toward the castle, and they keep like replaying it over and over again as a joke?
Yep.
The 2 guards were just tourists who happened to be there looking at the castle, and they said, "Hey, do you want to be in a movie?" And they said, "Yes." So that guy is just like not an actor, not anything else. He just showed up, and he's got to be in like one of the most iconic, like
that's fantastic
of all time. Just
Who would say no to that question? Like,
right? Yeah.
I mean, clearly they have to ask the question. They can't just film them without their consent. But like, who's like, no, I don't want to be in a movie. Sorry. Like,
what is this direction? Just stare. And trust me, it'll be funny when we do the edits, but just keep staring.
So here's a little note talking about movies and people that aren't supposed to be in them. So if you ever watch a reality TV show and you see all the people in the background that are just like, if they're in a restaurant and they're just sitting there, they have to approach each one of those people with a contract and give them some sort of monetary return for their likeness.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it could be $1, but they have to have some sort of monetary exchange in order to put people on camera.
Dang. Okay.
Wow.
Man. All right.
Is that for like Hollywood contractual reasons?
Yeah, it's a legality thing. So when I used to work in marketing departments and we would shoot like testimonial videos or stuff, like anyone who was in the background or their face was shown on it, I had to get them to sign a contract that said we could use their likeness in the video and give them some sort of dollar amount. Wow. I used to just give them dollars.
Yeah.
Here's $1. But yeah, once there's a monetary transaction, then they can be shown on camera without having to blur it out.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Rad.
Right. Just, hey, there's something
a little behind the scenes for you.
So like, imagine you're watching a reality show and you're like, I can't believe that just happened. And all the people are like, oh my God, that just happened. Like their reactions are real. But then afterwards, they had to go to every single person and have them fill out a form that said that they could be on camera and why that just happened.
Dang, wow. Okay. Come for Legion, stay for the trivia. All right.
Isn't that crazy?
Even for like those prank shows and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
If they're not, already actors.
Yeah.
If it's anyone just like there. Yep.
Dang.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Anyways, let's talk about Legion.
I was today years old when I learned. We are going to talk about Legion. But let's do some housekeeping first. Okay.
All right. Hey, so if you like the fact that we've been doing this for almost 5 years on a
Full circle.
weekly basis, almost missing no time at all, at times, Jay, that's me, was doing it twice a week on a weekly basis. Why don't you support us on Patreon? Because, we have blog writers that write on an almost weekly basis as well. And so I encourage you to support them as well by signing up for a Patreon. Let me tell you what you get, Kyle, when you sign up for Patreon. You get exclusive access to the Fifth Trooper, Patreon exclusive, super special, Super Saiyan Discord server.
That's right. We're cool now. We have a Discord server.
Yeah, we talk about stuff that you can't even know unless you're a Patreon member. so there you go. No, you get early access to content. You get to ask us questions. You get direct connections to DeBoy Evan Bulriss to ask him how his Fluttercraft list is going. And
poorly.
But yeah, we also do we send out quarterly rewards. We do all kinds of stuff. We have a After Dark podcast that we have not done in a little while that I need to catch up on, and we do a live Q&A. And so there's a lot of benefits that, and you're supporting, the main benefit is you're supporting everybody that's writing and producing content for the shows. Yeah. And then other than that, we have our Legion magazine that is out. We are in our 3rd month of that, which I'm very excited about. And our first 2 issues are out now. You can buy them on the website, or you can sign up for a subscription and just get it monthly. In addition to that, red and blue sidebars are back in the store, so you can order those now. We have Commander Cody up for pre-order as well on the website. So if you want to get your Cody on, you can also get Asajj Ventress. We have her up there as well for pre-order. And yeah, so housekeeping. We did it.
Awesome.
I actually went to a Legion event this past weekend in Canada.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so I'll do it a quick, not battle reporting, but just a quick rundown of the event. So
this is not what we discussed, Evan.
It's not, but I figured before we get into real off road,
I forgot how much of a loose cannon you were.
Some actual. If you're here for the Scoundrels, you're here for actual content, not whatever Evan's doing. So, I mean, just being real. So, Ron Armstrong, he's a big guy in the Legion community in Canada. He held an event at I think I'm pronouncing it right, Tista Minis in Ontario. We had 19 people. We had 1 drop, so we didn't get ELO, which sad, but what are you gonna do? My first round was against Christopher Zanga.
Oh yeah.
One of our OG guys we had on during season 1. And he hadn't played in 2 years. This was his first round out. So it was really good seeing him again.
Yeah, that was back when we were doing human interest pieces on the Fifth Trooper podcast.
Yeah.
Boy, what a mistake that was.
No, that was
because guess what? No one's interested in humans
anymore.
Go ahead.
But him and his son played, so that was cool. And yeah, actually, I just brought a hero hammer list. It was Jin, Cassian, K2, IG-11, a couple rebel troopers with the ion gun, pikes with a whip, and truck and fleets. And I did 2-1. I made a really stupid play in my second game. This really nice guy who was running Obi Annie, just I had the worst flop. So it was
bold,
recover supplies and hemmed in. He was blue. He got it and just was able to run. His dice were just keeping him going. It wasn't just dice. I misplayed. He did the game. He stuck to his game plan. Got behind this wall, and it was just over. I even threw K2 in a truck and just drove him and popped out to try to shoot him. Then Obi had the best roll I've ever seen, just 6 crits. And I'm you got it. You win. That's it. So who ended up winning was a guy in the community named Dean. He's very good. I expect to see high marks for him at Worlds. Actually, he did very well at Du Bois Golden Sprue, came in 4th, and he won this event. So watch out for him, Kyle. He's coming for you.
I always heed warnings about these things after Jay was talking up Luke Cook before.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2019.
Oh yeah, boy, did you guys? Jay, some backwoods kid, Luke Cook.
Yeah. Jay's like, there's
Luke...
this local guy, Luke Cook. He's really good. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Jay. You know.
Then it comes Worlds.
Yeah.
What do you do? Luke Cook was also there, actually.
That was my early prediction for the first World. I was like, Luke Cook, and they were like, it's from you're local, Jay. Yeah, nice. Blah blah blah. Like, okay, guys, you'll see.
They ended up the two top ended up 3-0ing, but we couldn't do a fourth. So Luke got second, Dean got first, just strength of schedule.
Yeah.
Which is the second time that happened to Luke in a row. Yeah, that happened at Du Bois where he was like undefeated and Nick Bodnar just got him. So like feels bad, man.
He needs to be taken down a couple notches.
What was he running? Just asking for a friend.
Ask for a friend. I actually was making fun of him because it was like he's just running like double bounty. Empire double bounty, and I'm like, oh, daring today, aren't we, Luke? Oh, double bounty. But my whole takeaway from the whole event was a lot of fun, an amazing store. Jay, they had like 8 shelves of Malifaux. I'm not even like this had it all. Like they had Flames of War, whole like 40K. They had Lord of the Rings minis, just like like not just like a little box, but like a whole set. So if you're in the Ontario region, just the minis was like actually amazing. It was like a game store.
What's the name of the town?
Good question. I can
because I'm pretty sure Ontario is like a state.
It's kind of big. I just put it in my phone and it takes me there. So I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that. But
Siri, take me to Ontario.
Pretty much. Like when I was going across the border, the guy's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Just a minute." He's like, "Where is it?" I'm like, So they're not police officers, but I treat them like police officers. I'm like, can I reach for my phone? I'm like, my phone is right there. Can I make a quick hand gesture?
They can lock you up like police
sure
officers.
Can. So that's why I'm like, can I grab
excuse me, sir, I just want to go play the game.
Yo, they're not tearing apart my car. Whatever they want, man. But I guess my whole takeaway from the event is IG-11, I think, is really good. Like, I know hot take maybe, but being able to say I remove 2 minis a turn with reliability, especially with Jin's like trust goes both ways. Hey, here's an extra aim. Or if you do like his 1-pip actually like won me a game, which is crazy. That's
the shoot everything card, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that crazy that card could win you a game.
That's true. But getting him in position for it is actually a little hard.
Yeah. At least it's not a donut anymore.
No, man, that was bad. I played it with one of our friends when we thought it was a donut, and it was like, wow, that was really not impressive. And
it was a donut for.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it was just range 2, and so like I had a guy range 1, I had a guy range 3, and he shot like 2 things. He's like, that doesn't feel like a 1-pip. I'm like, no, not really. But being able to, I like him better than 2 Rebel strike teams now because of the reliability to get over cover and just pick a unit up. And the the fact that his Pierce works on his explode is really funny too.
Yeah,
it's just his 3-pip that won me a game on KP. I just had 3 damage. I moved up, and popped, and I'm like, Pierce 1, just picking off onesies. But I didn't want to battle report too much, but I learned some stuff. I did face a Blizzard Force. Yeah, more or less. But I think if I'm gonna make a bold statement for Rebels right now, it's like Rogue One may be the way to go. Like Cassian and K2 is just really good. Jin's debatable, but good playmaker. And then IG-11 I'm actually really fond of right now.
Gosh, there was, that's really interesting because there was someone, what was it, this cast that was playing it? A Cassian K2 list? Was that, who was that? Was that me? Oh, that was me. That's right.
Why did I even why did I even say anything? Oh my god.
What are you saying? Jay knows what he's doing.
But I got my last game was against the Blizzard Force, Paul, actually from Buffalo. Nice guy, good player. I ended up taking it, but it was a Veers ATSC, not the like the Vader variety. And so I feel like I had an okay actually the Ion came in useful out of all things. I'm like,
yeah, Ion's decent into bikes and ATST, obviously.
Yeah.
I didn't like the whole game. I had no armor I was shooting at until I got to there, and I'm like, oh, money, here we go. 17 points. But that was my trip. It was pretty good.
Nice.
I've figured out the top half of my rebel list. It's the bottom half that I haven't. No idea. My next idea is double land speeder.
All right,
to go with them. I don't know.
So since we talked about this, because I know people are going to ask, what's Jay's Cassian K2 list? So I'm going to give it to you, Evan. All right.
You know what? Tell me how to make it, Jay.
You got Cassian. Let's start there.
Okay, really?
He's got offensive push, duck and cover. You've got ascension cables or recon intel, with his little thing, and you got his gun. Okay. You then have K2 with emergency transponders and Jin's blaster. Okay.
Yeah.
You then have a Pike Syndicate Capo with vigilance. All right.
Okay.
You have Rebel Vets. I gotta make sure this is the new points.
Is this still legal, Jay?
Yeah, I'm using the new points. Yeah. Okay. You have 2 Rebel Vets with their CM 093 with offensive push and recon.
Yep.
Then you have 2 MKs. Then you have 2 Pike Syndicate foot soldiers with their disruptors and recon intel. And then you have 3 sniper teams for 12 activations, and that's 780 points.
Jay, if you were to play that again, for realsies, drop 2 of those sniper teams, put in IG-11.
Blasphemous.
Look, man, being able to say like remove 2 models, not how mad have you gotten at snipers? That's what I'm saying.
Not rebel snipers, just Imperial.
Rebel snipers are just as bad. You don't roll
they're extra bad now too, that you can't get those late to none shots. Like
okay, all right. So you could put and still have 10 activations.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Yeah.
So
I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm just like no one's playing him that I see, and I think I think he's got some life right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't go 3-0, so what data's data, but
it's because you're trying too hard, I think.
I
think you need to go back to the days of like Vader Lat, of 2 bus, whatever those other things were.
You know what's funny about Vader Lat?
No one uses. I forgot the names of them.
Swoops.
Thank you.
Yeah. Swoops are awful right now. The man
right now.
That blue. Well, I mean, extra. I went to a local in Albany a couple weekends ago, and I ran into 2 Vader Lats, and like they moved up and they did the suppression bomb, and I'm like, is this what I've been doing to people? Man, this feels awful. Man, I am a monster. Like it's like wait, he can just get out and do what? Like I was like, for whatever reason, my brain just turned off how to play it. But I find it funny that like they're like discovering it now. And it's like, yeah, that was good. Adepticon last year, you did all right. I don't know, some weirdo brought it, but that event was fun. But I know we've got other stuff planned, but I just want to get some actual.
How dare you?
I know, wild. Getting boring in my old age.
Well, all right. Let's do your little game, Evan. Tell us.
Oh, my little game. All right.
Yeah. So here's the plan, right? Evan's got his little game that he's been playing on the 5th Trooper podcast, which you can hear. There's episode last week, and then there'll be another episode this Friday coming out. Evan's going to play that with us right now, and then we're going to get Kyle in on an old 5th Trooper standby, try by trash, and we're going to play that. So we're giving Kyle a little rest on his voice since he's Johnny Cash.
That's fair. Okay, so
appreciate it.
Yep.
I do this new bit. At first, I want to do it because I didn't really want to talk about the meta right now for a multitude of reasons. But I'm like, well, what's fun? So if you're familiar with the term Glupshido, that is your favorite Star Wars character that like nobody cares about. And what I do with this is you pick your character, and then we make a stat card for Legion. Now we try to keep it within something that would actually come out. So I always like I never liked when homebrews were like, oh, this gun does like 10 black dice. Like, no, that's not a real thing. So we make a card, we use like pre-existing keywords, we make one up. For example, Jordan from Luminous Gaming, who's on, which Crucible's coming up. Well, not really coming up, but later this year. Check that out. He does a lot for the community down there. And he picked that. I gotta find the character name here. It's like Voss Tess or something. Really stuck with me. Here we go. I got my document. Zori Bliss. Okay. Zori Bliss. It's the girl when on Rise of Skywalker, when Poe lands and she's like, I'm gonna kill you. And then like a scene later, she's like, let's run away together. So we wanted that. So we made up, just kind of like incognito because she could sneak around. But we made up a keyword called Ace Pilot. And we just assumed, let's say, you could put her in a T-47 or maybe a theoretical Y-Wing or something like that, just some flying vehicle. And she gave the vehicle a keyword, but she could eject, like she was being carried in a single close transport, and then have some stuff to do on the ground too. Anything like that. So, all right, you know what, Jay? How about we go for name the character, and then let's make a card.
Okay.
What do we got?
Ponda Baba.
Ponda Boo Boo? Ponda Baba. Let me get to. Oh, my friend here likes your haircut.
Yeah. Do you know?
Right,
you know that his friend Cornelius, there, the doctor, kept his
Dr. Evans on.
Yeah, kept his arm in a jar after that and took it around with him. Yeah.
Oh no, Dr. Evans on. Yeah. Ponda Bob. Okay, so Ponda Baba is the guy in The New Hope, who him and Dr. Evans on, the guy with the messed up face, were hassling Luke. I'm wanted in 12 systems. I'll be careful. You'll be dead. So all right. So Ponda Baba.
That was pretty dead on.
Yep.
Was that
yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I work on it. I've been waiting for a while to just finally say that line, and I got it. All right, so Ponda Baba. All right, so operative.
Yeah.
First question, operative.
Yeah, he's definitely not a commander.
And okay, so next question is, he's not Shadow Collective, and he's probably not a rebel. So do we just make up a bucket for him, like a theoretical scum and villainy faction?
He's a mercenary, right?
You just want like mercenary for who?
Oh,
yeah, like where would he like? You make like your own like scum group.
He would be a mercenary.
Okay,
that would be in Empire and in Shadow Collective.
Okay.
So it would work like Boba Fett, or but for Shadow Collective and Empire. Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, I kind of make Shadow Collective just like the scum and villainy like bucket until we actually get like a scum and villainy bucket.
All right.
Well, just kind of like to me.
Hey, this is your game. You do whatever you want, pal.
Okay. All right. Hey, well,
I'm just playing by the rules.
All right. So, okay, operative.
Yeah.
Courage value.
Interesting. So he was super fearsome. So I would give him a courage level of 3.
Okay. Hit points.
8.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's a brawler. Yeah, he's a brawler.
Tough boy.
Well, he didn't die, by the way. This might be in the extended universe stuff. He didn't die. They brought him back, and Dr. Cornelius put the arm back on him, but he put it on him wrong, and then they got into they weren't friends anymore after that.
Oh yeah, I suppose that would.
He had his cybernetic arm for a little while, and then he was like, "Hey, I got your arm. It's in this jar. Let me put it back on." But he hadn't been a doctor for so long because he was so busy drinking, and so he put it on wrong, and then they weren't friends anymore. Look it up.
Friendship over.
Look it up. I'm telling you, that's what happened.
Okay, so I'll say I'm gonna say speed 2, just out of everything. Speed 2.
Yeah.
So does he start with wound? And wound what? Wound X.
Because he doesn't have an arm.
He doesn't have an arm. Yeah, that's Like
wound one.
Wound one. Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
And then
that's a good idea.
Okay, so now we get into like keywords.
Okay.
Let's say
I think he's got Enrage 3,
okay.
I think.
Okay. Enrage 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what's does he have a gun? Does he come like built into the gun, or is this like a
So I think he just
upgrade?
has like a pistol. Like maybe like it doesn't matter, like something like 2 black. But he's a brawler, right? So I think he's got like what's Chewbacca, Overwhelm or something. I forgot which Chewbacca. I think it's Overwhelm or something like that, right? Something like that, because his species, what is it, Aqualish or whatever? I think he's a
yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you got that. All right.
Yeah. Dude,
boo-boo.
I'll tell you what. Old school Star Wars stuff, I am on the point for, but you start talking about Clone Wars, that's where I get lost.
Baba was a male Aqualish thug who rescued Dr. Cornelius Evanson from a bounty hunter. Two formed a partnership, began to smuggle spice for the crime lord Jabba the Hutt, resulting in him being a wanted man in many groups.
Yeah. There's more. He was an alcoholic at one point. It was pretty
those guys, like, was he married? Like, what else did he have? How many kids? Like, no, not my boy. Nothing could ever keep my boy down.
Yeah. He doesn't get tied down by no ball and chain.
All right, so Overwhelm.
Just an arm in a jar.
Just an arm in a jar. Overwhelm 4 red.
Let's give him 2 red, 2 black, because I don't think he's like Wookiee level.
Yeah, 2B. Okay. So now let's give him
he
something.
Should have teamwork with Dr. Cornelius.
Teamwork.
Yeah. So if anybody ever comes up with if anyone ever does Cornelius,
okay. Dr. Cornelius Evanson. All right, cool. Let's give him a custom keyword. So what's something that like let's make up a thing that only
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's called it's
really
gonna be called Old Lefty.
Old Lefty. All right.
Because that was his arm that he kept. And so you have to roll a red defense die. And if you roll only on a surge, can you roll his full melee attack? Because his right arm's not working correctly. And so on a surge, he can use his full attack. If he doesn't roll a surge on the defense die, he can only use the 2 black.
That seems terrible.
Yes.
I know.
Is this guy like 50 points? Because this sounds like a 50-point guy.
Yep.
Roll red defense.
Just let me do what I'm doing.
Hey, that's fair. Hey,
I don't judge you. I mean, I do.
Oh, you do. Like, wait, let's take it easy. Yeah. Defense dice. Old Lefty. Well, let's give that keyword a unreliable. That sounds like something that.
So you can use it for other stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kind of like.
All right. Well, if you're gonna use it for other stuff, then make it all right. If it's a
make block, it like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, 50-50. Yeah, if it's a block or a surge, right? Would that make it 50-50?
That'd be 66.
Oh, so blocks.
What do you want? Blocks or blanks?
On blanks. On blanks, he only rolls half his melee attack pool.
On I could see like, God, I hope like Alex Davey listens to this and he's just like rolling on his couch, like listening to us like, yeah, this is unreliable. That sounds good. Like, yeah, this is so. I'm a game designer. Roll.
That was a pretty good Alex Davey impression.
Yeah, I'm a game designer. Look at my nice sweater.
Here's my cat.
Yeah.
That cat was adorable, for the record.
Dude, I just don't like things that interrupt our podcast.
No, that's fair, but it's a one-eyed cat, man. You can't
like what are you gonna say?
We used to have that podcast that I did, that live play role play game, Recover the Supplies with Krabick and Ryan from Stabcast and Brennan, and like Brennan's dogs used to just like bark in the middle of the podcast, I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this looks pretty good. Like,
all right.
I'd point
know
this guy like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right, it's okay. All right. It's okay. First shot. All right.
Whoa. Hey. He should have. Oh, I know what he should have. Like, you know how there's Jedi Hunter and he gets bonuses. He should have Jedi like lightsaber weakness.
Oh, what do we call that? So
he has red defense die unless he's defending against a Jedi with a lightsaber, then he has white defense die.
So we call it maybe like
vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability.
There you go.
Vulnerability, melee pierce.
Melee pierce.
It's like when you know about this. It's like when you have a migraine, you're sensitive to light. So, lightsabers, he's sensitive to them.
I think most things are sensitive to lightsabers, for the record.
I can't argue with that, actually.
He's real sensitive to them.
Okay.
Except I guess like Beskar, but that's about the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
That's true. Like you have reverse. Like what's reverse Beskar?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Hey, you know what? Honestly, Jay, that went a lot better than I thought it was gonna go. I'm not gonna lie. That could have been a okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. What do you got? Who's your
So my original idea, I think, is too similar to Jay's pick. My original idea was going to be Thurm Scissor Punch from Solo, because his name is awesome.
Dude, I remember when that got leaked, and I'm like, this has to be fake.
Yeah,
this has to be a joke.
But
right?
It's not. It's like his actual name. His name is Thurm Scissor
Denny's
Punch.
Menu. Like,
really?
Yeah, the pictures got leaked on like Denny's cups, and then everyone's like, "Oh, Solo's gonna be terrible. Look at Scissor Punch."
Yeah. How could it be bad with a guy named Thurm Scissor Punch?
Oh my God.
No, but I think he would be too similar. So my second pick is Admiral Trench from the Clone Wars. I know maybe he's not quite obscure enough for this, but I think he's sufficiently obscure, but also kind of interesting. So
okay, yeah, no, that's good. Okay, bam. Let me look him up here so I get like a picture and
he's the spider. From
yeah, okay,
yeah.
Admiral Trench. Man, Wikipedia, whoever made that name, man, like a separatist admiral known for his cunning and okay, 2 keywords.
There you go.
Off the bat. All right.
Cunning and ruthless. Yeah. All right.
Trench commanded the separatist blockade on Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah. I know him.
He's in Star Wars.
He's so good. Where Senator Bail Organa and his relief effort were pinned down and in danger of capture. Okay, that's good. All right, so what do we got? Let's hit faction.
Separatists, obviously.
And then
Evan, you stupid idiot.
Hey, this is your show. I'm just typing. I'm just the hands. Commander.
Yeah,
question
Commander.
mark. Okay.
Yep. Admiral Trench.
Admiral.
You stupid idiot.
new rank, Admiral.
Yeah.
Sorry,
there you go.
New token. That's his gimmick. Is he just gets a onesie in there.
It's just a token with a spider on it.
Yeah.
He has like a logo actually that's like on the side of his command ship. That's like a spider.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
100%.
So, like when we talk about on the nose, man, yeah, they just literally made a spider and put like robot parts on it. Like,
yeah.
Here you go.
And we're done here, boys.
Dude, they did make a Lego piece. That's cool. It's got like a couple arms on it. All right. Okay, Commander Blam.
He also has a cane. That's a very token admiral trait. That's
for each of his spider legs.
No, he just has one cane. I don't know why a dude with 8 limbs needs a cane, but
Yeah, you just gotta. Sometimes it's very dignified.
Gives him a little bit of je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, and one of his legs is actually like a pirate peg.
Yeah,
just kind of clunking around. Here he is. All right, cool. So courage.
I think you could make him a 3 because he actually stands up to Anakin a couple times.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean,
not Anakin. He's the chosen one.
I know. and he messes up a lot of separatists in the Clone Wars TV show. So,
Cool. What about hit points?
I don't know. He's a giant spider alien, probably
So, like,
6.
Yeah, that's about right. I was gonna say 5, but like 5's like a Mandalorian hit point number, and like 6 is like if you're not a Mandalorian and you're not Grievous or Vader, you get 6.
Yep.
6, and then okay, speed. I'm speed 2, or is he slower because he's got the cane?
He's got a cane. I'd say 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got for keywords?
Ruthless and cunning, apparently.
Man, it's like, you ever think that sometimes when they made these characters, they're like, oh, we gotta make a new character, and they hit like Wikipedia, and those are the 2 keywords that came up, and it's like, Dooku was pretty cunning, huh? Yeah, that's pretty good. He was very ruthless. Yeah.
Oh, Kyle.
Got him.
Oh, Kyle and Evan. I literally found an STL Legion scale of this guy, so we we can make these.
I think you could easily, I mean, like do like Kalani's profile. That would be like an acceptable Admiral Trench.
So cunning, ruthless. He has to have. So it's not calculate odds, and it's not. What's the CIS doesn't calculate odds. Say, what do they do?
It's
a keyword for it. It's not the same. Strategize. So okay, strategize.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to like. I think it'd be boring to make him exactly like a super tactical droid.
So let's maybe a strategize like ability that doesn't give suppression, or maybe it leans to like 2 aims or something.
I mean, you could just give him spotter.
Yeah, that.
I mean, maybe that's kind of boring. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
ooh, you could give him like bolster 3 or something like that.
Bolster 3, that's not bad. Okay.
Oh my god.
Or
like some kind of like aggressive tactics, but like printed on his card.
Actually, that's really cool. Tactics.
Evan, this is the best game ever.
This
you're killing it.
It's not bad. That's okay. So yeah, that's actually right. Like so many people say, force users, you just always throw force push on them. So why not just like have it baked in, then add another slot or something like that, right? That's whether that's right or wrong. At least it's a debate, right? So to have aggressive tactics built into a unit in a faction, who you always are going to take it if you can, generally. I mean, there's because droid's like a random, like, hey, I might not die.
How about aggressive tactics that works whether he's the commander or not?
Ooh,
so you could actually pair him with another character and not feel
how about we call it we don't give him we call it ruthless tactics or ruthless command, and then that's like whether or not you are the valid commander, hand out 4 search tokens
to face ups.
To face ups. So because like him having like Vader, like Vader and Grievous's attack keyword seems weird, but to have like a thing that bolsters the army, because that's what he does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ruthless tactics. And then like ruthless is isn't ruthless what Gideon does? Isn't that his thing? Okay, so new word. And cunning, he's already got cunning. That makes sense because he'd want to. We'd call it like, what's a good word? Let me bring up the source here. So okay, we want something that sounds like cunning, maybe ruthless, but not quite. Let's see, ruthless, because it's got to be somewhat different because ruthless is already a keyword.
Yep. That's fair.
And then saying like ruthless tactics kind of feels redundant. Ruthless. How do I just type into this? Oh my god, I gotta click on this.
We need some like Jeopardy music going on here.
Oh yeah, right. Like ruthless. Okay. Hard, remorseless. Okay. Cruel, compassionless, hateful, unmerciful, inhumane. All right, these are. I got stern, unfeeling.
Go ahead.
No, go. You go.
I was gonna say you could give him like something called cruel intentions,
or merciless.
Yeah, merciless.
Merciless. That's better. Yeah.
Merciless command or merciless.
What's it do?
Merciless. So this is aggressive tactics, like the idea of the card, right?
Oh, I'm
so
aware. Yeah.
It's whoa, easy. I'm just look.
Well,
man,
why
I'm
would you
spitballing.
ask me in that way?
All right. I forget. I have to. Oh dear Jay.
You know who you're
King
talking
of the
to
hill.
here? Jeez.
My meek.
I've been
my
doing
meek
this for almost 5
raccoon-like
years. You
paws
think I
can
don't know what
only-
aggressive tactics is? God.
I mean, sometimes I don't
What
know.
am I, a chump?
I mean, I don't know. Merciless. So, what would you call aggressive tactics baked into a card? Like the unit, like the keyword that he always hands out the tokens, but he doesn't have to take aggressive tactics, right? No matter whether or not he's commander. That seems like a very like admiral thing to do. Like, I'm so good at this, I don't need an upgrade for it. So, like merciless command, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't roll with the tongue. Like,
No, it doesn't really.
Merciless. Man, let's see. Cool. Merciless.
What about a word that reflects that he's like an old, experienced, like crotchety
Spider
admiral?
sense.
Spider sense. Okay. Old man.
Arachnid tactics.
That's too specific, though. I think.
Yeah,
entrenched.
I'm doing the best I can here.
Entrenched. There you go.
Like, well, I'm thinking like entrenched stratagem or something, or like God, I know
We're losing it. We're
Yeah,
losing
no, I'm,
it.
just going
Yeah,
brains, I'm trying to think of words that make it all right. How about we go with like, you know what? I'm even gonna say this. The old guard, and that is the old guard keyword, or old guard. There it is.
You could call it weak points, maybe.
Or old guard, man, the sources.
How about what about just like veteran commander?
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that.
All right, that solves that. Because then that's a keyword
Done
you can
and
use
done.
somewhere else, right?
Yeah, right.
I know you're probably listening to the podcast right now, just screaming at your card thing, like saying what it does.
Yeah, there you go.
But we can't hear
Veteran
you,
commander.
so
I guess
whatever.
tactics, but always, but tokens
It works whether he's nominated or not.
always are handed out.
Yeah.
Whether or not he is nominated. Okay. You know what? That's pretty good. So I don't generally do command cards because they're like, you'd write a book on like what that is. But let's give him I mean, that's actually like, if you had a cunning commander with veteran command, so he always gives out aggressive tactics. That's pretty good. Like, even feels like 100 points. Like, he had some banger cards. Like, he's just like a good like backline, like just reliable commander.
Yeah.
What we want to say his cane is. His cane's got to be a weapon. Let's call it like Magno Cane. That sounds mean.
Sure. 2 black.
Magno.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2 black, impact 1.
2 black suppressive because they're so embarrassed that somebody just got that he just hit you with a cane.
Dude, that's like Vader like moves in standby.
Old spider guy with a bang cane.
I just think Yoda trying to pull a snack off R2. Mine. All right, cool. Actually, that was good. That was a good pull. I think veteran commanders. It's been interesting. So each one of these I do, like a new keyword that comes up that like makes sense. Like, it's not like a wild like crazy. Like I gave my original one was Cal Kestis, and I'm like, well, hey, he's got just like the generic like jump, independent surge, deflect, that kind of like basic stuff.
Commander Leaf template, basically.
The idea with him was his cards were going to be like the hand thing, where he had to achieve certain things to get like a permanent ability. So like where Anakin, he just could play it and get a permanent, where he might have to like jump over a height 1 thing and then hit a enemy, and you get you play this and you get relentless or something. Nick my grammar police, my co-host did 2-1 where it was a generic Inquisitor, and then you could swap the head out for Second Sister to make like same thing, but like Second Sister had some slightly better things. And then we had Austin, who just won Cherokee Open, I believe. So congratulations, Austin. He did Kaidi Mundi, and we had I like did Wikipedia, and it's like no one knows if he's either Makashi or Atreyu, because he switches between them. So I'm like, well, wouldn't it be cool if you divulged at the beginning you picked one, right? Like kind of how Asajj kind of set the precedence for like, I want her to be a bounty hunter, or I want her to be a Jedi killer. So I've been getting a lot of like, it's, if nothing else, it speaks for the game that there's a lot of room to come up with new ideas. I mean, look at Stormtide, right? Stormtide's like,
what's Stormtide? Tell us.
It's a new hit thing that's sweeping the nation.
It sounds so good.
But there's a lot of room within the game system to make interesting new ideas.
Yeah, the keyword system leaves you a lot of room to just build stuff off of.
I can tell you, since you brought it up, we're wrapping up this version of Stormtide in March, and we've got a new story and all this new stuff coming out in April. We are heavily leaning into the RPG elements this time around and being able to like modify stuff, like even more involved skill trees, like spending points to like build out your characters, like what we're doing right now. So yeah, that is very much going to be built into Stormtide. Cool. Yeah.
Sweet. So cool. Yeah, that's my little bit. And every time I have a guest on my cast, I have them make a new character just because I think it's funny. And I always like to see what people like want to come up with. Because that's like why you're here, I think, for games, is because it's fun. Even though someone said, why do people like hobbies that always make them mad? And I'm like, I guess you're not wrong. It's like, these dice,
you only get mad about things you care about.
Yeah, it's true, right? So it's I didn't think it was like a bad take, but I'm just like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like but so this is fun, right? Like it's just kind of off the cuff, like good idea. But I think Jay,
yes,
is it time?
Is it? Oh, it is. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, have we got a game for you? It's a classic. We're bringing it back from the mothballs, the attic. We're digging it out. It's called Try, Buy, Trash.
Do you remember we came up with this on the whim?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, this will be funny. We like raccoons, so trashkins are funny. And then it became like a thing. Like,
yeah. So, Try, Buy, Trash, for those of you new to it, and Kyle, because Kyle's new to this, we're going to give you 3 things. It's going to be a unit, a list, something, right? And it's basically very similar to Marry F Kill. So basically you have to keep one forever, use one once, and then it goes away and you never get to use it again. And then one you just have to completely throw out and you never get to use it ever. Not once, not never. Okay?
Not never?
Not never.
Not
so
ever.
You can try one, use it once, never use it again. You can buy one, keep it forever, or you can trash it, which means you can never, ever use it. Are you ready to play Try, Buy, Trash, Kyle?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. My first one is for Kyle.
Okay.
Try, Buy, Trash. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Blizzard Force.
Okay.
Imperial Remnant List.
Okay.
The one you're thinking of right now, the one you have in your mind that you're debating whether or not to bring to Worlds.
It's actually a not Remnant Dark Trooper list.
Okay, but Dark Trooper.
Yeah.
And an Eventress list.
Okay.
You have to try one, buy one, and throw one out. What do you got? Today. So this is what you're bringing to Worlds.
Okay. I actually think this is pretty easy.
Yeah.
So we'll go in reverse order here. The trash one, I think would be Dark Troopers.
Wow, you can never play them again. This is it. You're throwing them in the garbage. It's all over.
For 2 reasons. the first is simply that they are super fun. Like the first couple of times you play them, to play as them, they are not particularly fun to play against. But after that, they're just kind of like, I mean, based on how the unit is designed, they can't get cover, so like it doesn't really matter where your guys are. They can only move once, but they activate twice. So it's their formula is basically like move attack, move attack, move attack, and keep moving directly towards your opponent with like minimal nuance, because cover doesn't do anything for you. So there's no point in like trying to hide behind cover, right? So it's just you literally like move attack, move attack, move attack towards your opponent as often and as quickly as possible, and it's just like that's it.
Yeah.
And either they die if your opponent has a lot of impact weapons, and by a lot I mean you need a lot, or they don't and they just like steamroll your opponent. So it's not very fun. It's like a very binary outcome. So yeah, they would go in the trash simply from a fun perspective. I think from like a tournament perspective, I think specifically with the formula that is like double Dark Troopers, each of which has double heavies, you can build a lot of things around that. That's actually like a genuinely very ridiculous tournament list. In the sense that like there's kind of two different types of tournament lists you can build. You can build one that's more like an all-rounder list where it's like, I'm hoping this gives me like a 55-45 kind of advantage in most matchups. Maybe some of them are 50-50, maybe some of them are 45-55, in favor of the other matchup. But generally speaking, there's like a range, right? And you're gonna hope that your skill pushes that range over 50. I feel like Dark Troopers are like, some of the matchups are gonna be like 95-5. Like you roll up to a matchup and your opponent only has like impact 4 or something in their list, or they only have like critical. But they don't have any like dedicated impact weapons. You're like, okay, like I know how this game is going to go. Like we can play 6 turns, but like this, we both know what's going to happen. And then there are other lists, like maybe you show up against somebody that for some reason has 6 HH12s, which happened at Cherokee Open.
Dude,
one of the I think this guy was undefeated. Him and Austin Miller. Richard Lavery, did I get that right?
I think so.
Okay, I'm terribly sorry if I did not. And I know we wrote an article on it, which I edited, but that was like 3 days ago. So, anyway, there's a chance that you run into like, that guy with 6 HH12s, and then like it's the other way, right? Like there's a very small chance that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but there's still a chance, and if that matchup happens at a tournament, you're like, all right, I guess I lose. And
it was Robert Seville.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope that Richard was someone else in the top 8, so I didn't just pull that name out.
Number 4. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta log in and look at their list. Let me just but yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Robert, that I confused you with someone else. My understanding, by the way, is that Robert has been playing that list like forever. It wasn't just like I expect to see a lot of Dark Troopers, so I'm going to bring 6 HH12. He's actually like very experienced at it. But it's funny because it's such a perfect call for like a tournament where everyone is bringing Dark Troopers.
That's really hilarious. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, man, what a meme.
But the fact that he's been doing this thing forever makes it almost like one of those characters in a movie that has that like obscure skill that nobody values.
Yeah.
That just the perfect moment comes up. It's like Lex in Jurassic Park, where the whole movie she's like, I'm a hacker, as they're traipsing through the wilderness, and everybody's like, who cares,
right,
whatever. And then they get to the point where like she has to open the doors with the computer, and she's like, this is Unix, I know this. And it's like there you go. Like you spent like 45 minutes talking about how this was going to be useful.
I'd like to point out that not only did he have 6 HH12s, but he also had IG-88 and Bosk, which is just ridiculous.
That seems actually pretty good, just like generically.
Yeah. Just like I shoot a lot, I get a lot of rerolls. I probably get my core in a position where they don't need to move.
11 activations.
Shooting.
Yeah, that seems like genuinely pretty good. Nice job, Robert. And of course he's gonna like steamroll a Dark Trooper list, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what is that like impact 18 plus the 2 bounty hunters?
Yeah. Somebody said Kyle needed to bring. Kyle said bring Impact 6, so I went ahead and tripled it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that's why Dark Troopers for me would be the trash.
All right.
I know that was a long explanation.
It was.
But, which is they look great. Their unit design is just it's way too rock paper scissors. They're a giant, ridiculously heavy rock. And yeah. All right. So trash for them. Try would be Ventress, like a Ventress Bane list, probably. I think it's really interesting. I think it's probably still not great into Blizzard, but I think it's pretty decent into most other things. You know, it's essentially it's like double bounty, except one of your bounty hunters is a Force user.
Yeah.
Which sounds pretty good to me. The problem is B1s just melt to bikes. So and Blizzard
don't I know?
Yeah.
And then Blizzard's your keep forever.
Hereby. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll get nerfed eventually, but like for now,
right?
Like the list speaks to me. It's genuinely fun to play
for you,
for me. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I have one more for you, and then we'll rest your voice, and I'll give one to Evan.
Okay.
Try by trash.
All right.
Commander Vader, Operative Vader, Anakin.
Oof.
Oh, I got him, Evan. I got him.
Commander Vader, trash.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
I mean, Operative Vader by try Anakin. Anakin's really good. He's just not as fun as Commander Vader. Like, or I'm sorry, Operative Vader. Like Operative Vader, you get to do the hallway scene thing, you know.
Right.
Yep. Like Anakin's great, but he's great because he's like a reliable, boring defensive Jedi, basically.
I was trying to play on your heartstrings because I know how much you love Anakin.
Yeah, I do. I wish like don't get me wrong. I love his design from a theme perspective, how he gets like more powerful as the game goes on. I wish that he had command cards that like did things besides give him keywords. He's a character that could super benefit from 3 more command cards.
Yeah.
And maybe some kind of ability that lets you like pick one of his original command cards that just like starts in play, so you don't have to spend 3 turns powering him up. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, Anakin's he's like, he's when he first came out, he was too expensive, and it's like, well, this takes too long to power him up, and you're putting like 200 points into him, and you know the whole list of like why don't play him. And then he got that sweet buff, right? Defend 1 was huge, like nuts.
Dodge tokens for
the exemplar too. Like it's like you're doubling down
and gemstone mastery, which is the best dodge based
absolutely
Jedi mastery.
So he like definitely weapon value. And I mean, speaking of that counter to Dark Trooper, like saber throw fire support
with an RPS.
With RPS really makes him sad, right? Like it's pretty
impact 5 like, surge crit pierce 3,
and it's not even like a big like you don't like rebels. You kind of have to build around it to deal with them. But with clones, it's like, well, I take Anakin because I like him. I have to take core. I'll take 1 RPS, and you're like, good enough. You know, you're maybe not the best, but you're like, you can at least like you don't feel like you've just like you have nothing, right?
Yeah, I'm not actually convinced that that's enough against double Dark Troopers.
Oh, double maybe not. No,
which is what you have to build for, right? Double Dark Troopers with the double heavy. But it's definitely like a better start than a lot of other factions are just getting kind of generically from stuff they might have been taken already. So
I do like the rise of I've seen lists that are just nothing but the B1 battle droid rockets.
Yeah,
just like it's time to like.
I made one of those the other day. I'm like, what happens if you just take 6 B1s with rockets? You know, like what else can you put in there? And it turns out kind of a lot.
Yeah, they're not that cheap. They're not that expensive, and they like that double Dark Trooper guy's like, all right, time to steamroll CIS list, and she's like, you just keep pulling out models with like rocket launcher. You're like, oh, perfect. I've been looking for you. Yeah. All right. It's gonna be a good game, huh?
Yeah.
nice day outside, right?
Throw a Magna rocket in there for good measure.
Oh.
You can actually do, this is a list you can do. You can do 6B1 rockets, a regular tactical droid, Magnas with a rocket. So far we're up to impact 14, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Ventress, who besides having access to Force Choke has a 1-pip that effectively gives her marksman with 4 things that she can spend to improve results. So like you use that in melee against Dark Troopers, you're probably forcing 6 saves. And then Cad Bane. That fits. That's 10 activations.
All right.
Actually pretty good.
I know. That is essentially I might mix in some like E5S's, but that's essentially the try list that Jay mentioned like a few minutes ago.
So here you could go, if you really want to go, everybody, you could do a separatist invasion with a T series, 8 battle droids, all with the rockets, the Magna Guard with the rocket, and the AAT tank with the armor piercing
with
shells.
I mean, like, what's your bad matchup there? Like,
for which one?
Either one, really. Like,
it's still not B1's still melted bikes. I'd be kind of worried in the Blizzard. I mean, you'd be leaning a lot on Bane and Ventress in that matchup.
That's fair.
That like they might be able to carry that load. I don't know. That's one of the things I want to try between now and Worlds, but
that's fair.
All right, Evan.
Ooh,
try by trash.
Try by trash. All right, what do we
Bus, an A5, a lat, an IG-11.
Oh man. After I'm just like, yeah, guys, IG-11's pretty cool. You know,
now drown one.
Now put one in the flooded dumpster till the bubbles stop. Honestly, it's gonna be Lat's bad right now. So, like, okay, like I said, Vader
right
Lat
now?
is well before when like a lot of anti-armor wasn't kicking around. Like you could bring a Lat and they might not even really able to really damage it too much, or if they were, they're like wasting their shots. Yes, please try to roll a crit in my Lat. I don't care if it dies, whatever. But now everyone's like teching for armor because of Dark Troopers, and you know who really suffers from all that is like all of the like
armor.
I don't want to say like all the honest armor. I'll call it like a Lat, an ATRT. Some guys like, I just bring 2 clone ATRTs. They're my favorite unit from that episode of the Clone War. And then he runs into the 6 HH12 guy, and they get removed turn 1, and he's like, I don't want to play anymore. Like, like isn't armor keyword supposed to mean something? Like, not today. So Lat's got to go because you can just see it from everywhere. It can't hide. The Baron's good, but you got to be in range 3 to make that like really pop off, and it's too dangerous now. So sorry, Lat. Like, I love you, Lat. But you're just like until bringing teching for armor becomes like a side thing, when now it's everyone's main concern, like you got to go.
It's this weird like ripple effect that if everyone is teching now, bringing impact intentionally for Dark Troopers to handle the extreme armor skew, like any sort of normal quote unquote amount of armor is just going to get mulched.
Oh dude, I was like, maybe triple rebel ATRT might be like a neat like dark horse. Not with like, you even brought Dark Troopers. I'm like, like that's gonna pop. And I'm gonna say trying the bus. Bus should probably be my buy, but the bus is actually just like still amazing. It does everything you want to do, delivers dudes. It can just be a buff machine. Shriv with Jin is super good. Like, hey, here's a suppression and a dodge. So you got your danger sense going. Here's an aim, and then with teamwork, everyone gets an aim. Like a bus teamwork with when you play Jin's 2-pip, and let's say you roll that magical 3 aims. So Jin gets an aim, then that passes, and you teamwork on like K2 or something. That passes to K2. That passes it to Cassian. Then the bus hands a second aim out to our K2. That passes to Jin. That passes it to Cassian. You give the third one to Cassian. It's like you can stack up like 3 aims on all of them. I mean, way overkill, but it's funny. Just like
funny.
you just like move it forward into like how many tokens? You're like, I'm just gonna roll till I get all crits. Like, I don't know. Here we but IG's been I think if nothing else, I still have to figure out what my worlds list is gonna be. It's leading to like Rebel Hero Hammer. And IG's in it. Absolutely. He makes white save like officer commanders real sad. Because you can just pick at him from range 4. It's hard to hide from him. I think it's probably gonna be a land speeder in there, so I can just that's like IG-88's Ferrari or Corvette or whatever from that MC Chris song. Like but it's like driving him around, just popping range 4.
You know what you need to get? You need to get the lava boat from Mandalorian and put him in that as the land speeder.
Dude, that's actually really funny.
There you go.
Yep. 57 Chevy, that's it for the MC Chris song. But yeah, that's actually pretty good. Like, I think he's my take right now. I really want to do like, it just sucks having to do double bounty in Rebels because I don't really want to take underworld connections and a guide to take underworld connections, but you have to for the new rule. So I'm just sticking with one. So I think IG's my keep because he's really been impressing me lately with just like, and if they kill him, it's like 100 points. Who cares? Like he doesn't die in a shot. So you can just kind of aim fire. Like you're kind of safe. But I think he's my keep.
All right. This last one's for Kyle. And it's going to be our blog staff. Try buy trash. No, I wouldn't do that.
Rank them.
Sorry, Jay, I'm going through a tunnel.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a good try buy trash.
Yeah, no, that's good. I made me think, but yeah, you had to make me say the last bad, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
and I'm not happy about it.
I want to watch you kill the things you love.
But it's like, well, it's true though. Like there was in my mind, I'm like, maybe Lat's like another dark horse. Like no one's expecting it, but you don't have to expect it anymore because you're expecting Dark Troopers. So you just tech for that, and then like,
yep,
like that one guy who just like doesn't want to play Blizzard, but unironically likes ATSTs. So he brings one. It's like, oh, it's just my favorite Star Wars thing. He just gets like his 200 points ripped off the table by turn 2, and he's just like, okay,
it makes me think. It's so funny how this game works. It's so cyclical, and how the meta like washes itself out, and so like it almost reminds me of when gun lines became really prevalent, right? Because everyone was teching for armor, and then gun lines were just like, I don't care about your impact, and then just started annihilating things, you know?
Yeah.
I think you still run into the trouble with Blizzard, and if you don't have a little tech against armor, right? Like it becomes sad panda, but there's enough critical that it helps. You can help you get over the hump a little bit. But yeah. So anyways, that's it. I think that was a good, fun episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
I'll still like lurk. I'll go back to lurking in the shadows until like someone else can't make it for a show, and I'll just sneak back up.
So go ahead. Yeah, Evan's going to be on Friday. So this coming out Thursday. We're a little behind this week, and then Evan will be out tomorrow with the Fifth Trooper podcast. So go ahead. What are you going to say? Speaking of,
speaking of shadows, or the opposite of shadows, I have to ask about the crazy light show situation going on.
Man, yeah. So when I used to stream, and I didn't want to. Normally, when I streamed, I put up a green screen because I like the effect of just like not having you see my room. But this is when I was gonna stream, but I was lazy. So I turned the lights off and I put this it's like a $30 Galaxy projector made for like kids' rooms. It's like a night light. You turn it on and it goes off after like an hour. But yeah, I popped that up and it kind of creates the like it makes the background interesting, but not like just all my crap.
It looks like almost like 3-dimensional.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's two different. It's one is like a green star screen, the other is like a blue galaxy, and they kind of like side rotate. Yeah, it's like like $30 or something, or $25. They're pretty like reasonable. Kids like them. My roommate's kids steal it when I'm not paying attention, put in their room, like whatever. I have to go reclaim it when they leave. It's got a couple stickers on it. It's getting some travel.
Who would have thought kids would be into a kid's toy?
Look,
Shocker.
Jay, let's be real. 90% of my hobbies could, like, when I moved in here and my roommate's kids like saw my stuff, there's a 7 and 11-year-old, they're like, can we like use any of this? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
One
it's
of
like,
us. One
how
of
do I
us.
like
Yep.
even deny them? I'm like, no, you can't use my toys.
Yeah,
But
we're all kids.
But they're literally my toys. I'm like, no, these are. So I have like snap chips and crap back there. Like, it's like, just literally kids' toys. But yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, there's a great. I wish I could remember the name of the comic strip, but it's a comic about miniatures, and a grown man is playing with miniatures, and some kid his kid comes up and he's like, "Hey, Daddy, can I play with this?" He's like, "No, these aren't toys." Well, actually, they are toys. They're just really expensive and fragile toys. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Perfect.
Yep. All right.
Let's get out of this.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
All right. We are the Notorious Scoundrels. I'm Kyle.
I'm Jay.
I'm Evan.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Hey, Red.